therapy. Diddy. Methamphetamine in the needle. We live in a world where fame is rooted in evil. Money tastes good, but it's lethal. Think you run the world, but the power is rooted in the people. Go kill yourself. Evil. Supporters and fans are your energy. And all the families and friends with conditional love are your enemies.
Queen, what it do, baby?
What is playing in the living room?
This week we are listening to "Fighter" by BD Queen, who came all the way down from Canada to perform this weekend. I got to meet her, which was a pleasure. She's a rapper, singer, songwriter, and she can compose in English, French, and Spanish.
Oh, that's nice.
Right. I can literally speak English and Spanglish. That's all I got. But yeah, Fighter is my jam. So y'all make sure y'all check out BD Queen. That's BIDI Queen. Find her on the socials because the Queen is going places. I'm sure we'll have more of her tracks on the things coming up here on the show. But this is our first introduction. So if y'all like BD Queen, make sure y'all let us know. Comment on our page. Comment when we post her. Make sure you give her a follow, a good old stream if you like good music. She also has this other song, which maybe we'll play on a show one day. But check out Fighter for now, y'all. And y'all going to see what I'm talking about to get introduced to the artist.
Made me want to run into the streets and have the boys on the four-wheelers and the dirt bikes with me.
Oh, okay. Come on, Bike Life. It's a good song. It makes me want to be in a boxing gym.
That's what I'm saying. I was talking about from Creed, but I know you don't be watching movies, so you probably have no idea.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. I'm out of here. Welcome me. Welcome you. I want to start off this podcast by just saying we're sending prayers and love out to Louisiana and Mississippi.
I know that's right.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Ida. We always see a lot of Pray for New Orleans posts. And, you know, just so everybody knows, there is a lot of devastation going on all over from Louisiana to Mississippi and maybe even reaching even further in that. It's just places I've seen pictures and anecdotes from, if you will. So just keep them lifted in your love and your light. And if you can find some reputable places to donate and help in some way, or maybe if you can be on foot going down to either one of those places and helping out in any way you can, opening your home to people who've had to evacuate or whatever, evacuate or what have you. If you'll do that, thank you guys so much. So prayers up for Louisiana and Mississippi.
Y'all can donate to Another Gulf is Possible. That's where I donated this morning because I woke up and was like, what can I do about climate change? Because it's giving that Louisiana, New Orleans, you know, the waterfront facing things will not be here after a while, which is very sad and very devastating to think about living during a time where you were like, oh yeah, you're talking to your kids like, yeah, when I was 27, I went to New Orleans for the first time, and then, you know, so many years later it wasn't there anymore. And it's just
what?
Like, wow.
We're gonna be like, back when I grew up there was 50 states to America, and people gonna be like, I don't know about that, there's only 45.
Right, exactly. So if you, like Iyesha said, if you can, definitely donate, you know, your time, your money, whatever kind of resources you feel like you have in excess that you can give, whatever runneth out the cup, you know what I'm saying?
But also make sure y'all stay far quad away from American Red Cross. Amen.
Okay, yeah. The people need help. I literally was like, because, you know, I was thinking about living in New Orleans, and I was just thinking about how if it were me, I would want somebody to help me out. So I definitely sent a few coins down to the thing. So, and it is a mutual aid fund, and they were just talking about just different things people are going to need in this time to rebuild, just needing this time in general. Because, you know, I've seen like Ava DuVernay posted like, of course, there's the devastation from the storm, but, you know, then there's the heat, and, you know, think about being in those kind of that. And I saw a post that was like the deaths that will come from the heat with no electricity, like, you know, people, you know, dying from heat, you know, heat exhaustion is not the word I'm looking for, but y'all know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but that is a word also. Heat exhaustion. Heat
stroke. It is right on. I feel like heat exhaustion and heat exhaustion death are, I know, you know what I'm saying? They're two different things. And y'all not gonna call me dumb on my podcast. So
because don't forget, you're supposed to be the brains of this here bitch.
Okay, so listen, let me get my words together before they take that from me, because then what will I have left? Not my looks, apparently.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well,
shade of it
Queen,
all.
I have a icebreaker for you today. Do you
we all live for an icebreaker?
I just live for the things that our listeners can ask at home with their friends and family. I think that's a good black ass time. So, with that being said, I feel like I need to turn down my mic a little bit. Oh
Okay.
Lord.
Oh dear.
Oh Lord.
Now I'm nervous.
Cause I feel like I'm screeching. Okay. My icebreaker for you today is something about yourself you wish people wouldn't joke about.
I don't like when people call me dramatic. It's very triggering. Now, mind you, I am dramatic. Let me, follow me down this rabbit hole, y'all.
Okay.
But in the moments when I'm being dramatic, no one calls me dramatic. Like, they call me dramatic when I'm really expressing myself or being vulnerable or opening up about something. And I hate that shit. Like, I feel like people use, like, oh, you're dramatic. Not just against me, but against other people like myself as a way of devaluing or, lessening how we feel. And I hate that shit. I'd be like, I'm about to slit your throat.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. That's the kind of energy. I chose violence this morning. But yeah, that's one thing. I do not like that. Oh, you so dramatic. I'd be like, I'm so gonna snap your neck off. But
Yeah. Well,
yeah. So yeah, there's that on that. I hate that shit. So what about you, Queen? I would love to know the things. Oh, I know one, but I ain't gonna say it. It's not my business.
So you can joke
don't
about
mind my
it.
business like the girls on Instagram.
So you can
told me
joke
to do.
about it.
No, not joke about it. I'm saying I know something that you hate that people say about you.
Okay, well go ahead, say it.
You don't like when people say that you're not black, or they be like, "Oh, you're white."
Oh yeah, that's actually what I was gonna say. I was gonna say I wish people wouldn't joke about, okay, but you're white, or oh my god, you're so white. And I say that because, well, for many reasons, but for two, you don't know what it's like to grow up in a multicultural household or be raised, by white people, and you don't understand the intensities of the relationships that I had to go through with my family, and how many of them I don't even speak to. And people are like, oh, Thanksgiving this and Christmas that. I'd be like, do you understand I don't feel comfortable in my home? Like, you understand I don't feel comfortable going to, where all of my other family is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can only go where half of my family is, which, my tradition is growing up with my mom's side, my white side of the family. So it's actually very frustrating and triggering for me to be like, oh, you're so white. I'd be like, oh, wow, I've never heard that before. Okay. Yeah, I wish people wouldn't joke about that, but it's fine, because if you make fun of me, I'm going to make fun of you, and I'll probably hurt your feelings worse. So there's that on that.
Violence has been chose on this
podcast.
Iyesha's gonna hurt your feelings, and I'm gonna slit your throat.
Yeah, so what you want? A slit throat or hurt feelings?
Sticks or stones, baby. Sticks or stones. Because words can never hurt me.
Yeah, so our roommates, feel free to ask your friends and family, hey, what do you not like being joked about? Because I think it's important when you open those things up for your friends. Because actually, Sid and I have both talked about, she guessed mine. We've actually talked about this before, like things that like maybe we joke about or say that we find out later, oh, that was actually hurting my feelings. Oh shit, my bad. I do that all the time. So I'm glad I finally know that was something that you didn't like. It's important to know, when you're maybe undervaluing your friends or just being disrespectful to your friends, especially if you don't know, because what you think is funny, you're going to keep running with, you're going to keep saying this. So I'm like, okay, y'all, it was funny calling me white like one time. I've heard it 6,412 times in my life. Can we let it the fuck go? I'm still going to be half white tomorrow. So should we let it go now? Or
I still remember the day when you were like, as nicely and respectfully as possible. I don't like people say that about me. I was like, oh, never again.
Yeah, because I'm half white, and I just be like, now if I was half Indian or half Mexican or half any of those things, would you feel so comfortable talking shit about me like that, or making jokes about me or my quote unquote mayonnaise culture like that? Would you like that, or would you do that to me? Probably not. It's just the comfortability of people being like, yeah, fuck white people, and that's cool and all, but understand that's still half of me.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, like, as you said, I just want to uplift what you already said. Like, I think it is very important to share those things, because what is a joke to you really could be hurting someone or triggering them or something like that, and you never know, right? And so that's good, because then you don't have to continue to harm someone that you care about just because it's something that we normally say, right? Like, we say a lot of shit and ask a lot of quote-unquote normal questions that are very triggering for other people. And so it's good when you have the opportunity to feel as if you can express yourself to a person and say, like, hey, actually, don't do that shit.
Yeah, because it's like, I can't control what strangers do or people who don't really know me. But the very least I could do is let my friends know, because if they're really my friends, they're gonna respect me and be like, oh shit, fam, okay, I'm not gonna do that no more. Because once again, if I was any other culture, you wouldn't feel so comfortable doing that, because you'd be like, damn, that's not my culture to be speaking on, you know.
That's what Medea said, okay? And we take Medea's advice over here in this good living room. Y'all, she laughing, but when I tell you Medea goes to jail, the play, y'all, gems was dropped, okay? Medea said, if you tell somebody something and they change it or they try to change it, you keep them people around. Iyesha, do your Medea voice.
Do I have one?
I'm just kidding.
Dang.
I'm just kidding. But if you tell somebody something and they don't try to change it, they got to go. And when I tell you, I don't know what, but that shit just stuck with me as a child. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, Tyler Perry gave us the things, okay? And I appreciate you, Tyler. You was on point.
Well, moving on down. Look back at it, girl. Queen, how many things do you have for our month in review over here?
I
week
have
in review?
1.
Okay, I have 2, so I'm gonna kick it off.
Okay.
First things first, you could just type in 2 words, or 3 words, excuse me, and find a plethora of very unfortunate articles. But I'm going to talk about one thing specifically to talk about the overall generalness of the things. Counterfeit vaxx cards. Now, girls, these things are getting y'all into a lot of trouble. There is a young woman named Jasmine Clifford, aka @anti-vax mama, and she about to lose her job. She about to lose her job. Yeah, she's been charged with selling fake vaccine cards. Apparently, she's been charging the girls $200 to make anti-vax cards that basically say, this is my religious way out card. I don't have to get these things. And there's no really telling how many that she's had, but she also has about 13 co-conspirators being charged with her. 13
co-conspirators? Oh, she had
a whole
she's
got friends, girl. She's
cartel, honey.
And so there was a young man who basically saw her posting like, hey, I need people who work in the medical field who are basically willing to lie, because not only was she making the anti-vax cards, she was also hacking into the New York vaccination system and filling people's names in, saying, yep, these
wait a minute, now sis had the computer skills too? Okay, girl.
Sis a hacker. So there was a man named Michael McWhorter who reached out to Anti-Vax Mama's post when she was posing as a Walgreens employee, asking for, or trying to recruit people who worked in healthcare. And then she allegedly DM'd him back or what have you and told him that, hey, you know, I work with people and I am working to make $10,000 a week fraudulently entering people into the New York State's vaccine system. And at that point, Mr. Michael said, not on my watch. He contacted the FBI and informed them, and they started investigating. And Michael said people's lives are at risk. He pointed out that he had a friend die from COVID or COVID complications. And he said, when I see people who are healthy and can be vaccinated refuse to be vaccinated, or not only that, refuse to wear a mask, they're the ones who, in a zombie apocalypse, God damn it, you know what I'm trying to say, wouldn't tell you they were blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he's basically saying if you're healthy, you're not getting vaccinated, basically the least y'all could do is not be out here being fucking liars about having the vax, which I agree 1,000%. As we said on this show, or at least I have, I'm not going to say I don't give a fuck. I think it is, you know, at this point, your choice, because I know that a lot of people are fearful of it. The vaccine and whatnot, I think it's your choice. You got to do what you feel is best. And if you're not getting vaxxed, the least you could do is wear masks, not touch people, not stand close to people, et cetera, et cetera. But to go out your way to make anti-vax cards, like, y'all girls know you're going to jail, right?
Right.
And you might think, oh, I'm not getting a vaccine. This shit is a load of crap, you know, whatever. Girls, you know what's worse than this quote-unquote load of crap the government is selling? Going to jail. Going to prison. It's going to be so much worse there. I would just say either get your vax or don't get it. But don't be out here lying, telling people you got it. Because somebody's grandma, grandpa, somebody's autoimmune disease loved one is going to suffer because of you choosing to lie about something so serious.
Absolutely. I just be wondering what the girls was doing back in the day, the first when vaccines was coming out back in the day. Like, did they go this far with all the things, or is like this is just some new shit? I wonder.
I feel like this is more of new shit because people feel like I can question everything. Well, girl, don't you think that should come with like reading a book, reading an article, reading a scientific article or a medical article, some sort of peer-reviewed paper, not just Twitter threads and Facebook posts. Right on. Like, absolutely. These are the people that are wreaking havoc, and I'm like, girl, you don't even read actual articles. Like, I'm not talking about fucking Facebook threads of conspiracies. I'm talking about you girls who get on things saying, oh yeah, I believe this because X, Y, and Z, when that's not researched. That's not even carefully thought out. That's not even critical thinking at all. So you're just taking somebody else's opinion and saying, hey, you know what? That sounds good enough. I'm going to run with it. And I feel like those are the people who are toxic, whether you are for or against the vaccine. Those are the people who are toxic. Do some real research. Stop saying that I watched this YouTube video or I read this Facebook post. Like, please, please, please.
Absolutely. Yeah. What a mess.
And you can easily find medical peer-reviewed papers, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said. I mean, it's one thing to not want the vaccine. It's another thing, to want the vaccine. It's a whole other thing to be out here making fake vax cards, to go traveling, to whatever.
And to go to other countries at that, like... I'm not saying there's ever be an appropriate time for it, but you guys are trying to travel to countries that have not had COVID outbreaks in like 6 months plus. You girls are trying to crawl over there with your fake ass vax cards and probably be the ones infecting everybody or being carriers at the bare minimum.
Right. Which is very selfish, but we should, not surprising of Americans.
Not at all. It's right on brand. Queen, what is your look back at it?
My look back at it is for the Queen Bee and her blood diamond. So the girls are coming for Beyonce for wearing a 128 karat yellow diamond in the Tiffany campaign. She was the first black woman and only the fourth in the world to wear this diamond. This diamond has, diamonds in general, have colonial histories. The diamond industry as a whole is hugely suspect, according to this article I read to get ready for this here podcast. Diamonds have been attached to market manipulation, unethical practices, false scarcity, and canny advertising. So I didn't get through the whole article, but I also wanted to bring up Tina Knowles and then bring my points in here. Tina Knowles said something along the lines of, you bitches better ever motherfucking come for my motherfucking daughter when you motherfuckers got on diamonds your damn selves, is what she was saying. I'm ad-libbing a bit, of course. To which I would like to say, as the article I read also said, didn't really necessarily help because everybody with diamonds on is still wrong. So really what I would have wanted, best case scenario, you know what I'm saying, if I ruled the world, would have been for Tina, and she may have done so privately, right, to say, ooh, not the it. Yeah. Like I said,
correct
also
your loved ones in private, so to speak.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Which also, I'm like, also okay if she did it in private. And then, like I said, also, I get her saying, like, oh, hell no. What y'all not finna do while y'all wearing diamonds or chasing after them or busting your ass to get some, it's come from my daughter because she can afford to or has the celebrity to wear this diamond or whatever. And for me, what I thought about is that, like, I think we are going to have to, if we want to end suffering in our world, if we want to end exploitation in our world, I think we're going to have to reimagine our futures, which is something we've been doing in a lot of different ways, be it prison abolition or the abolition of the death penalty, different things of that nature. So with that being said, right now that we know that diamonds have this past, because I remember reading an article a long time ago. I don't know what made me look it up, but that 60% of the world's diamonds come from Africa. And I was like, which is so funny because y'all are always saying Africa is so poor. So therefore, if 60% of the world's diamonds come from Africa, then that means somebody ain't doing something right over there. Somebody doing some fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, that was when I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to, like, and we've had a conversation about this, not getting too off subject, but like even when I see people riding elephants in Thailand or swimming with the dolphins at SeaWorld or whatever, it's like harm, exploitation.
Yeah.
These animals didn't choose this life. And so with that, that was making me think like, you know what, how do I live a fulfilled life with my own curated bucket list without being involved in suffering? So with that being said, you know, I don't think any celebrity is above reprieve. I heard that the Breakfast Club, I heard this from a friend, somebody on the Breakfast Club was like, oh, well, Beyonce get to black businesses. And I'm like, y'all know it can be a both and, right? We can pat Beyonce on the back for giving to black businesses and also say, girl, but this diamond you got on probably came from the mines of South Africa, and we don't like that. So, you know, that was essentially what I wanted to say, because, again, and we all are learning, right? Like, I've known for a while that 60% of the world's diamonds come from Africa, but I didn't know that my entire life, right?
But I also personally wouldn't say that that's always bad. I'm not saying that this particular yellow canary diamond, whatever it was, I'm not saying this one particular came from, good things. But I also don't just assume personally that a diamond that came from Africa is one that was out of exploitation. You know what I'm saying? Because we have imports, exports, right? We have trade, we have economics. So I personally would have to do my own personal research as to where my diamonds that I own came from and to see if they were ethically produced and ethically sold, because I think it's kind of hard to be like, oh, they're diamonds and they're from Africa, so obviously somebody is starving to get them, because I think, that's an assumption that's damaging. You don't know what kind of black people are feeding their families off of this, or, profiting in a positive way off of this.
Right, and sense. So, yeah, and the article I read basically was saying that the whole thing is
bad.
Not what you want.
Okay.
On some, like, to summarize it, it was like these companies came together to really put a stronghold on diamonds, because before this surplus of diamonds were discovered in South Africa, they were coming from other places, but there was this idea that they were scarce and rare. So when they found these mines, it was like, oh shit, now people know that there are millions and billions and trillions of diamonds out here. So what we're gonna do is get a hold of all of that shit and make sure we drive up these prices. We're going to link diamonds to romance, so that way people in America, because even like it was saying like in 1938, like 3/4 of diamond sales were in America, because they were able to make Americans, like, to link those two things together. And of course that's not going into detail about the more exploitative side of it. Like I said, I didn't finish the article, so I definitely want to keep reading, but basically from what I've seen so far, like whether it be manipulation or whether it be, like I said, the physical exploitation of people or whatever, it basically do sound like on some, I would just recommend you do it the Miguel way and get you some black onyx in your wedding ring for those grounding stones, which if y'all ain't seen that, it's a YouTube video about Miguel's wedding day where he talks about his wedding ring and why he chose the stones he chose.
I would like to see that, because I love the fine people.
Yeah, it was very dope. He had like, there were some yellow stones, but most of them were black stones. And he was saying like, yeah, if I got to wear this every day, I would want it to be grounding type of thing. And I just thought it was, even then, like I said, there's just so many alternative ways to live. And, maybe we should start looking into those ways if the normal way is exploitative, which it always seems to be. But I definitely understand your point too, and saying like, I don't want to jump to conclusions. But that was why I took the time to start reading that article. It just was longer than I expected it to be. So I didn't get a chance to finish it, but I will report back to the people and let y'all know whether or not you should ask your future husbands and or non-binary and or wives to get you a black onyx or wood ring.
Come on, Kalia.
Right. So yeah, shout out to Beyonce, because you never know, Beyonce might be at home right now like, oh, you know what, that was a misfire, and I apologize. And
because
so
I think in part to be like, oh, she wore this diamond, now we all want it. None of you girls are ever gonna get no diamond like that anyway, because none of you girls can, for one, afford it, and for two, as far as I know, that's the only one like it. So I feel like part of it wasn't like, hey, go buy this diamond, or you should all be gawking over this. But at the end of the day, Tiffany, the partnership with Tiffany is going to be to sell, the rings and the jewelries and the things. So, I don't know. I don't know what other partnership she could have done. But I feel like in anything that we do, somebody is going to be hurt, right? If she teams up with, I don't know, Chipotle, animals are going to be exploited. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be exploitation in some way, somehow, no matter what somebody's collaboration looks like, almost, right? Like, and literally, unless it's strictly a non-profit, right, or a charity type of organization, there's always going to be exploitation, you know, in the capitalistic idea.
Yeah, and I literally was telling my friend earlier when we were talking about this, I'm like, I'm gonna try my best, excuse me, to be to live a harm-free life. And I think it's one of the things where it's more so once you know better, you do better, which is another reason why I'm not over here like, fuck Beyonce and the fucking bug. Not like, it's like, right. No, maybe she didn't know.
Who's the fuck to say she knew? Because I feel like nobody even knew these things, or I feel like half the people that are saying this are only repeating comments that they already saw.
Oh, absolutely.
That's that thing that I'm like, oh,
that's
yeah, y'all girls love to not read an article or a thread or you know, doing your research, you like to read a thread and copy and paste or be like, what? That came from slavery? I'm just going to take that and run with it and be like, what? How did we get here? Like, how did all of you guys know about this, and yet you don't know not to eat meat because, you know, it's killing you? Okay.
Yeah, so again, that's why for me, I'm like, well, but I think I had already kind of, like I said, because I knew the whole 60% of diamonds come from Africa, and yeah, Africa, depending on, like I said, what country you're talking about, is, oh, it's so poor, so I'm like, yeah, clearly the girls are stealing over there. So I already knew, I had that background, but absolutely, and that's another reason why I was like, yeah, I'm not mad at Tina, like I said, I just hope that there was some, like, there's some, I think the only thing I can hope for really is that when people have quote-unquote valid points, they're listened to, they're heard, right? Because at the end of the day, I don't think it's an invalid point whatsoever. And so, like I said, it's been done now. The Tiffany campaign has been done now, but maybe it can change how we move going forward. Yeah, always a learning lesson, you know what I'm saying? So I wish the people the best. I hope that, again, we just want less suffering in the world, you know what I'm saying? That's what we hope for here in the living room. But anywho, that's all I had for that. Queen, what is your next look back at it?
Now this one, I didn't want to go into detail as far as naming names because of, you will see why. But in short, there was like a witch hunt basically to see if this particular celebrity was pregnant. And there was like viral TikTok moments of people for like a whole month saying that this person was pregnant by look at their nails, look at the drink they have on, look at the picture, look at the style of hair she had in this picture versus this one. These are obviously all old pictures and blah, blah, blah. We conclude that this person is pregnant and, you know, here's why. Here are details. And about a month later, it was revealed via Shade Room, TMZ, whatever, that this person is indeed pregnant and that it is all of our business. However, this person who is allegedly pregnant has yet to say anything, and it's been maybe 2 weeks since that was announced. And I wanted to bring this up because I wanted to talk about how incredibly tacky and disrespectful and rude and just gross and heinous it is to take that from a woman or any expecting parent, excuse me, the ability to announce your own pregnancy. And part of this reason is this person never even announced their first pregnancy, right? Never even thought that it was necessary to tell the world about it. Why? I don't know. Was it a high-risk pregnancy? Was she on bed rest the whole time? Was she struggling? Had she faced 12 miscarriages and this was the only baby that stuck and she wanted to keep it, you know, solid and safe and secure? I don't know. But I think it is incredibly rude and disrespectful to announce someone's pregnancy for them, whether they are a celebrity or whether that's your friend or your homegirl. That is not something you share because you don't know what that person has gone through beforehand. And I was just thinking about like the articles that I know off the top of my head or the statistics I know off the top of my head. But I was like, you know, let me look a little more factually. There are about 4.4 million confirmed pregnancies every year, and about 1 million of those end in loss. And that's usually during the first trimester, but of course that can go on until full term. But basically, one in 5 women you know has lost their pregnancy, has had a miscarriage. 1 in 5 pregnancies, excuse me. So if your mom got pregnant 4 times, only one of those babies probably stuck, type of thing. Or excuse me, if she got pregnant 5 times, one of those babies could have been lost, excuse me. So with that being said, you probably know someone who has suffered a miscarriage, and you're out here talking about somebody's pregnancy or announcing it for them when you have no idea. She might have been pregnant whenever that article came out and had miscarried by the time people started commenting. You know what I mean? So I just think it's incredibly gross to be like, this person's pregnant before they can even say anything to anybody. I think that is so tacky, and I really wish I would stop, whether they're celebrity or not. And then when you think they are or have read that they are, everyone is going out their way to try to sneak pictures of this person and find them and hunt them down so they have to live like in a fucking bunker for their pregnancy. I think that is just wild. I don't give a fuck if I'm 9 months pregnant, pushing my belly out. You know what I'm saying? You should not be coming up to me and be like, oh my God, are you pregnant? That is not your business, because I have known people to have had full-term stillborn babies. So that means you would have seen them at 9 months pregnant and been like, hey, oh my God, are you pregnant? And they found out a week ago that they have to deliver, you know, in a week to a stillborn baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is just so gross and so heinous to announce that or take that ability away from a mother, away from a parent, when they have not told the world yet that they are pregnant. So I just wish that you guys would, celebrity or otherwise, leave people's pregnancies alone. Leave people's uteruses alone. Stop asking people if they're pregnant or when they're going to get pregnant or when they're going to have a baby. Because as we learned with Gabrielle Union's story, how much loss she suffered while people were like, bitch, when the fuck are you going to have babies? Look how old you are. Like, damn, bitch, I have tried and I've lost 4 or 5 of them. Like, let it, please. Jeez, you know?
Yeah, there is some, like, I don't know what it is about our culture, and I don't, you know, whoever our includes, that likes to remind people of their trauma. Like, when you said that just now, it reminded me of how Tina was talking about how every time she tried to do an interview, people were like, so, you and Ike aren't together anymore? Mm-hmm. But it was before the movie came out, so it was before people knew, you know, their love story, before people knew the details of what she had endured. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, again, saying that you just said, like, Gabby, girl, when you gonna have some kids? It's like, hey, you just want to keep reminding me that I have lost 18,000 kids? Like, thank you.
Yeah.
I've, you know, had to endure that every time, you know what I'm saying? And I remember watching For Color Girls, and I think it was For Color Girls, and Kerry Washington's character was just talking about, if I'm correct, I could be wrong. I think it was that movie though. And I think it was her. I know it was her character if it was that movie, but she was just talking about her body, I feel like, betraying her for not allowing her to have a baby. And on, you know, I feel like you hear, at least on TV, women, you know, feeling like they're not good enough, and, you know, like I said, their body's betraying them, and what have they done wrong? What have they done to deserve this? And, you know, why can't they just have a baby and stuff? So again, it's just like, why are y'all hell-bent on just reminding people of their trauma? Just leave people alone. And in this particular case, back to the subject matter at hand, I don't also know what it is about our culture that just feels like we are entitled to celebrity business. And then what's so crazy about it is that I can get told to mind my business when I talk about something Boosie has actually said on Instagram. Mm-hmm. But y'all don't see the disconnect between y'all. Literally, I'm told to mind my business, but y'all all in her business. Mm-hmm. Business she didn't post yet. Mm-hmm. For whatever reason, which it could be, I just want to, like how Nicki Minaj is. Like, we don't even know her baby's name. Like, I just want to enjoy my baby for my baby. Yeah. I want to enjoy my pregnancy for my pregnancy. I don't want the whole world. I didn't sign up for this. I signed up to give you this music. Here go these 8 tracks of that real shit, and I'm done. So, yeah, I hate it here for the people. I'm sorry that people have to endure the things, and maybe one day, soon, as in tomorrow, things will be better for the girls. Yeah. Because that's tragic.
Yeah. Well, blank while black. Queen, do you have a blank while black for us?
Yes, my blank while black goes out to, well, actually, my blank while black is do not be dark skinned. Mm-hmm. Really for under any circumstances, but in this particular circumstance, do not be dark skinned as a child, and then don't be dark skinned as a male actor. And whose story I will use to highlight my points is that of Tyrese, who was recently on Leia's Lemonade. And he talked about how it was not cool to be dark skinned in the hood, how like light skinned people were treated better, they got more love, they were seen as more attractive and more handsome, they got more attention. And he said that it was the same thing when he got to Hollywood. He was like that he lost so many roles to Terrence Howard, like that he had been booked. I think he said this, that he had been literally booked or almost booked type shit, and then they went with Terrence Howard. And somebody in the comment section was on, like, said, like, well, Terrence Howard is the better actor. And so what I basically wanted to bring up was that the unfortunate part about there being discrimination in our world, discrimination against trans people, discrimination against people who are gay or lesbian, discrimination against people who have a certain skin tone, discrimination against people because of their sex, because of their gender, whatever it might be, discrimination, of course, against people because of their race. You will always have to wonder when you are in the position of privilege whether or not you truly earned whatever this thing is, this job, this award, whatever, right? So I've said that same thing about white people, right? Like when it won Best Ensemble Cast over Black Panther. Of course, I'm looking like, bitch, what the fuck? This shit had Angela Bassett in it with other people. Therefore, ensemble cast, ho, give me that. Give the girls the trophies, please. And so when the person like commented, I was like, we'll never know if if Terrence Howard is more talented than Tyrese, because just like we'll never know if whoever that white lady was that won that fucking Oscar over Angela Bassett for What's Love Got to Do with It. We will never know if it was truly earned, if you truly are quote unquote better, if you can even define and quantify that, because discrimination exists. So I was just like, nah. So I just wanted to, like, you know, bring it up on the podcast just to remind y'all that it sucks. Like, discrimination, racism, colorism, all the phobias, homophobia, transphobia, they ricochet and nobody comes out unscathed. So yeah, just be aware. And I hate that. Like, I remember there's this commercial that's still playing now that talks about people not seeing people's creations, their art or whatever, because of those different things that, you know, serve as like the different levels or different areas of intersectionality. Like, people not seeing my art because I'm dark skinned, or people not seeing this person's art because they're trans, or same thing with like the actresses and actors who are trans who just want to play regular part. Like, let me not say regular, who want to play parts that do not have anything to do with their trans experience. Like, my life is not just that thing. I can also do other things. Will they ever get the chance, or how long will it be before they get the chance? You know? So yeah, say that to say, girls, we gotta, to ever really know whether you earn that shit, we gotta rid the world of discrimination. Yeah. So yes, Queen, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. When people have these phobias, right, or these discriminations, nobody comes out, you know, unhurt by it, because we won't really know the talent of people whenever we say, well, this person's light skinned, or this person will look better on TV. We kind of talked about it, not to go too deep into it, basically just about a casting director I was working with who was saying how I need to be all these things. I should change all these things about me, right, to be more presentable for TV. And I was like, isn't this an independent project? Aren't you the one who is doing the casting and the producing? So therefore, you are choosing to keep people off of TV for how they look, you know, because you want to appease this certain look that quote unquote people love. But I'm like, you do realize that people are infatuated by Insecure, right? I have never seen a TSA bae's body on TV until now. I never saw a season 1 Issa Rae type of body on TV until her, right? She opened those doors for those, I hate to say kind of people, but those kind of people, right? Like, we've never seen it before. And had she listened to y'all motherfuckers, it would have been, you know, no shade, but it would have been Lauren London playing Issa. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't even been herself, even though the story is about herself. Because you would have been like, yeah, but Issa, your body or your hair type is not what the people go up for. When really, if you're in charge of the casting, you make that decision. You guys are choosing to keep people at disadvantage, when clearly people love being able to see themselves on TV, period. Absolutely. The end. And guess what? We don't all look the same. Like, it's okay to open doors for other people who don't all look the same. Absolutely.
And that's the thing. Like, somebody had commented, it was some kind of black network, and they were saying, like, basically, we need to open our own doors and build our own production studios and this, that, and the third. And it kind of reminds me of my own growth, because when Issa first said I'm rooting for everybody black, I was absolutely on the train, like, hell yeah. But then, you know, so many years later, I'm like, actually, let's change that up a little bit. So with this whole, it's because we need to own our own. It's like, yeah, but you have people who are black who are just going along with whatever the status quo is. So it isn't just white people that are casting light-skinned people in these parts, or that are casting cis people in these parts, or that are casting straight people in these parts. It's also black people doing the same shit. White. I saw Funky Dineva, who he was a YouTuber, but now he does a lot of different things now. But I saw him say that black people don't have problems with colorism, and I was like, oh, you got to be fucking shitting me, because every black love story that I can think of, be it Best Man, Love Don't Cost a Thing, whatever, the woman is lighter than the man every time. And so say that to say, it isn't just about being black or whatever, right? It's about having a black consciousness. It's about having a human consciousness that says everybody wants to be represented. Nobody deserves to live a life and feel as if they're not beautiful or less than because of their representation or lack thereof on TV. And so it's got to be about changing the status quo, because we know that that's not working. So we got to build our own institutions, yes, but build them with a human-centered consciousness and a black-centered consciousness that is inclusive to all people. So, yeah. That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, to whoever that was talking about, and it was so many people in the comments. Well, Terrence Howard is a better actor, and I'm just like, again, first of all, better. How can we quantify that? People like what they like, they don't what they don't, type of thing. But also, will we ever know? Because again, if Tyrese always got to play this certain kind of part, again, right? These ideas of what we think dark skinned men are like, but Terrence Howard, because he has because he was talking about his eye color, his skin complexion, how attractive people see him as, type or whatever. There's just more opportunities there, and I think it's crazy because I think we know that by now. But I guess we just like to pretend like we don't. But anywho, shout out to Tyrese. Again, I'm sorry to all the people who grew up because of whatever reason, thinking they were less than. And hopefully the girls in Hollywood will either let me in the door or I'm going to say fuck that door and, you know what I'm saying, do my own shit.
Yeah.
Because it's time. It's time, girls. It's time. But, Queen, what do you have for Blank While Black?
Blank While Black, as we have told you people before, please don't be teachers or students while being black. Tennessee is the latest state to ban teachers from teaching certain concepts of race and racism in public schools, where teachers risk losing valuable state funding if they violate the new measure. Republican Governor Bill Lee, probably related to Robert E. Lee, signed a measure into law Monday, who said the legislature is arguing that students should learn the exceptionalism of our nation and not the things that inherently divide people. We need to make sure that our kids recognize this country is moving forward toward a more perfect union. Funny you should use the word union. That we should teach the exceptionalism of our nation and how people can live together and work together to make a greater nation, and not teach things that inherently divide or pit other Americans against each other, or people groups against other people groups, whatever the fuck that means. So teachers basically who are caught violating this new bullshit ass law run the risk of costing their schools funds, probably getting themselves fired. But basically, the first penalty is withholding state funds up to $1 million, and after 5 or more violations, up to $10 million can be withheld from funding. So just a giant and sincere. Now I think there's up to 14 states who have also jumped on the wagon of enforcing the no longer teaching critical race theory, which I thought was funny anyway, because I don't know how much of that I learned growing up anyway. I learned like 1 second of MLK, and that's about it. But girl, you want to defund schools for teaching things? What?
Right. That shit wild as fuck.
So, yeah, basically in America, let's just teach that we were great. All the white people were great. Robert E. Lee was great. Columbus was great. All the racists, all the sheriffs and townspeople and citizens that had your uncles and aunties hanging and swinging as strange fruit under trees. All great, fine and dandy. Let's keep moving forward to our perfect and even more perfecter union. Man, fuck you.
Yeah, that shit is wild. And it just goes back to, you know, something that you said on the podcast, that like they really don't want us to be educated. They really don't want us to learn. Like, and it just also reminded me when you were talking of Angela Davis's book that's called Freedom is a Constant Struggle. I think about that often. Like, it really is on some give and take all the time. We move forward, we get knocked some steps back. We move forward, we get knocked some steps back. And it feels like a hamster wheel at times, right? Like, we, you know, here we are, back here again. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the abortion laws and stuff. Like, here we are. You know, we thinking we got some progress, and boom, what is it? Texas just passed the most, it might not be Texas. Please forgive me if I misspoke. One of the most, not brutal. What's the word I'm looking for? With abortion laws that be hella strict. That's what it is. And it's just always, we make some progress, we don't. We make some progress, we don't. And then that's what's unfortunate is they banning the critical race theory and the teaching about race in school when they already teaching trash to begin with. Like, as y'all know, if you listen to this podcast, Iyesha's already talked about schools having fucking slave auctions for Black History Month and just all kinds of bullshit. So it's like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, almost, because it's like when y'all do teach it, that's the shit y'all teaching. Now y'all talking about not teaching it at all. So I'm just like, damn. Just don't let your black ass kids go to these white ass schools.
And honestly, if you value your white children and if you value Black people, then you wouldn't let these people be the people who teach your kids about history anyway, point blank and period, because you also need to be teaching this shit at home too. And that's, again, only if you value your black friends, right? Your black coworkers, the black people that you quote unquote love in your life. You would also not be letting your kids get away with thinking that everything been fine and fucking dandy since day one. Get the fuck out of here, please, and ASAP.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if that is all, Queen,
that's all I had for Blank While Black.
We move on to Say What Now?
Say What Now?
My Say What Now award goes to Boosie Badass.
Oh, Lord.
I did not watch the full interview, so I would like to, preface by saying I will only be speaking from the 3 to 4 minute clip that I saw on the Breakfast Club's Instagram page. I was like, I'm not giving this no fucking YouTube view, because although, yes, we're finna talk about it, so I am included in this. Martha Hill brought up a very good point that we gotta learn how to radically ignore shit sometimes. Stop giving the girls the attention, because like Trick Daddy with his Beyonce can't sing shit, if you just radically ignore that shit, he'll shut up. So let us get into the things, guys. I would simply like to talk about how delusional Boosie is, and respectfully, how delusional is for anybody who agrees with the things that I'm about to say that he said. I'm gonna repeat what he said. He said straight people in the world don't have an opinion on can't have an opinion on sexuality. If I say I'm straight and I like women, it's vulgar. It's a different day now.
It's an attack on the straights.
It's an attack. Y'all gotta have a heterosexual parade, because the girls are coming for us. So those were my first 2 delusional things that he said. But then he was like, oh, it's a different day now. To which I was like, yes, because change is a natural thing. Like, it means you're alive. It means the world is alive. It means you're surrounded by things that are alive. Anything that is not changing is dead. So when people, oh my God, y'all motherfuckers soft these days and it ain't like it used to be. No. And hopefully for better, because y'all have been getting away with bullshit all this time is what it is. And y'all just want to keep getting away with that bullshit, but the day is over for that. So let me continue down to Boosie's delusional ideology. He said they attacking our children. And I'm sure the they he referring to is the gays, the LGBTQIA plus community. To which I respond, the music, the movies, the music videos, all that shit been attacking our kids. All that shit is informing our kids with all kind of horrible ideas about women and black people and gay people and trans people, like, for the longest time. Like, have you ever seen what the fuck was that documentary called? It was all about how trans representation has just led to so much violence against trans people, because when trans people have been represented, it was always on some aggressive shit, on some freak type shit, on some just hella dehumanizing type shit. And so I'm just like, my nigga, all the shit is poisoning the kids because the culture is toxic. But I'm gonna let you finish.
He's a moron.
Okay. And then he said, I loved every rapper when I was little. And I was like, and look at how you turned out. Why are we looking up to rappers? Like, and what becomes of you when you do? When rappers are your heroes, how you turn out? Like, of course, it's, we don't want to put anybody on a pedestal, but I get it. Like, as human beings, I think we all like to have people who inspire us, who we look up to, mentor type shit. But I'm like, but these niggas that rap about women the way they do, materialism the way they do, drugs the way they do, like Lil Nas, even in Lil Nas X's song, like talking about weed and lean, Future, like I remember this comedian that I like was literally saying like, are y'all on payroll for the pharmaceutical companies? Because the way y'all talk about these pills and these drugs in every fucking song. Yeah. So going back to how the culture is toxic, going back to how it's not the gays who are attacking y'all kids, it's this motherfucking music that you yourself are creating and putting out.
And guess what, girl? Your kid's not gonna die from being gay, but they probably will die from overdosing or celebrating gun violence. So there's that.
Okay, thank you. Like, for once, Charlamagne literally said the same thing you just said, and I'm like, and here's another time where he's right on the money, because he literally was like, Boosie, what about the rappers that did this, and all the guns we saw, and all the killing we saw, and da-da-da-da-da, but this gay black man saying that he's gonna get on stage and dance naked, that's too much. I was literally like, do you know how much unsolicited naked female ass I have seen over my lifetime because of rap music videos? But this man though, it's at the end of the day, it's just homophobia. That is all it is to it. And I think the last delusion I had is that he said he was like literally what I just said. He's offended when Lil Nas X said he was going to perform naked. To which I just said, all the ass I've seen in my lifetime, and that's fine.
And guess what? As a girl, I understand Lil Nas X is homosexual. That's the team he plays for and whatnot. But let me tell you something about boy ass. I love it, and I'm here for it. And personally, Lil Nas is great to look at. I think he is just so beautiful, and he has the most gorgeous lips of all time. So if he's gonna bring me the music videos or the performances with the boy ass, let him.
Okay, to which I just want to say at the end of the interview, like, you know, Charlamagne's asking him questions. He's like, and it all leads back to my opinion. And I'm like, that means you ain't got no response for these questions because you ain't making no motherfucking sense. It's just homophobia. At the end of the day, one thing I have said on this podcast, one thing I will be saying for a long ass time is that the people are okay with being homophobic. The people are okay with being racist. The people are okay with being colorist. The people are okay with all these horrible things. They just don't want to be called those horrible things.
And you won't be, you know, less of a moron or anything, but it would make more sense to say, guys, hello, I am a homophobic. I don't like the gays. I hate their guts. The end.
Right.
But this
all it is.
This fake bullshit of it's poisoning our children. Well, girl, it's not. But, you know, paying to get them raped might. So let's just shut it on down because you are not the world's greatest parent. You're not going to get no Nickelodeon Slime Award for being a good parent ever in your lifetime. So won't you shut them lips of yours, please, and thank you.
Okay, absolutely. So, yeah, I just wanted to report here in our good living room that Boosie and the girls are delusional as fuck. I literally was like, I was like mind blown. Like, I was like, you've got to be shitting me. Like, I don't understand that this level of cognitive dissonance is dangerous as fuck. Mm-hmm. They attacking our kids, but the music that you make is not. Mm-hmm. You sexually assaulted, you sexually attacked your own fucking kids on some, I'm trying to teach them how to fuck. Mm-hmm. Are you fucking kidding me? And then the people in the comments, somebody commented back and was like, yo, these men being real crazy in these comments trying to defend sexual assault. And I'm like, yeah, again, it can be both and. You can say you like Boosie. You can say you think he's funny. You can say you like his music or whatever. But that shit he did to his sons and the level of homophobia coming out that man's mouth, why he always in the gay business, as the girls have said. I'm just never that pressed about the shit unless, again, somebody's being harmed. But to be in the business like that, it's like, what's like the girls have said, what's going on? Because I'm confused.
I would just here's the thing. Mark Zuckerberg keeps, you know, taking the things away from the Boosie. And I simply wish Mark Zuckerberg would continue to do so, because at this point I don't know how else Boosie gonna make money besides you know,
his Boosie bash show.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what else? That support him. What else is going to make him money? There's only so many down south places you can book him at, in which the only places I would expect to see him in North Carolina at would be like the Phoenix in Greenville, North Carolina. Like, I don't know who's booking Boosie, and personally, I don't care. I don't want his children to suffer because he's a moron. However, I don't care that he ever works again. That is not my business. If you're not in the business of protecting all of the black folk, gay, straight, or otherwise, then I'm not in the business of supporting or protecting Hugh. The end. Absolutely.
And that's got to be the code of ethics, y'all, because otherwise the girl's just gonna go rampant and the harm will continue to happen. So yeah, it's a no for me. But that is my say what now, Queen. What do you have for us?
My say what now. Now, if you've been a part of this show, right, you've been a roommate for a long time, you've signed your lease, you've been paying your dues, then you know that this segment used to be called Sounds About Whhhat. And today's Say What Now is a Sounds About Whhhat. Terry Crews took to the Twitter sphere to say, the best thing about being uninvited to the cookout ... is you never drank the Kool-Aid. Terry. First and foremost, this is how I know you were never allowed at any cookout. Who the fuck has Kool-Aid at a cookout? It's Capri Capri Suns and liquor, bitch. Where the fuck is Kool-Aid at a cookout, first and foremost? And second of all, who the fuck was even talking to you? Nobody has talked about Terry Crews for a solid, I don't know, 2 years since he was doing all his tap dancing, right? We ain't even talked about her at all. And here she come on God's internet talking about I'm glad I'm not at the cookout because y'all drink Kool-Aid. What? What are you talking about? Jesus H. Christ.
Yeah, I was watching White Chicks the other day, and I was like, "Damn, Terry Crews was that nigga."
Terry Crews was that nigga because he was being a method actor and furthermore playing himself. Because what understudy who? I can understudy myself. The fuck is wrong with him?
I have no idea, but he will bring himself up. He will bring himself into the business.
What? Because when he did that the first, I don't even remember what all the racist shenanigans was that he was enforcing. But when he brought himself up the last time, we were like, who was talking to you? None of us.
Oh, I remember what you're talking about. Yeah, something about don't let Black
Lives Matter turn into our Black Lives Only Matter, some dumb shit. I don't know what the fuck he was talking about. But he kept doubling down about how dumb he was and about how he stood by the dumb shit he said. But I'm just trying to figure out who the fuck said anything about a cookout to you lately. Who? Probably nobody in your family has even invited you to a cookout as of late. So what the hell are you talking about? We've been in a global panini press. Ain't nobody even talking to you. God.
Indeed.
But, you know, you can't make sense out of nonsense. So moving on.
You can't. Was that your only say what now, Queen?
Yes, ma'am.
Alrighty. Well, in that case, we move on to Sexpectations. Queen, do you have Sexpectations? I have one.
Yeah, I have one. It's quick though. It's quick.
Okay, so is mine.
Okay, go ahead.
I think.
Oh, Lord.
Would you ever redate somebody? Like, if you weren't in a relationship, of course, like, or, you know what I'm saying? But like, have you, and I mean it more so on like do you believe, like, you know, some people be like, oh, hell no, I don't do,
no
fucking
vaxxies.
Dating people. So like, yeah, that, like, do you agree with that? Or do you be like, you never know, people can come back around?
I'm thinking about, so out of my own experiences, absolutely not. Y'all don't, I don't know what the fuck I bothered liking about y'all the first go around, so the second go around really ain't gonna be good. But in general, if I think like just in general, do I think basically people can change, people can spin the block, you know, and be a little different? Probably not. Because I feel like out of all the fish in the sea, why would I redate your ass? That would be silly. That would be a waste of my time. I already know what you about, and it's lameness.
Okay, heard. So, Queen, what is your Sexpectation?
Wait, would you spin a block?
I don't know. I'd be like, because I was literally talking, but I was more so talking about it in the sense of friendships, because it actually has happened to me where like I'm not friends with the person, or we're not as close, and then we get close again, type shit. And so I've refriended before, but redate, I really don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of the guys.
I would probably refriend, but I feel like spinning a block on a dude I dated or would date in the future, like spinning a block on him, that would be silly.
Well, you know I'm shallow, and they was fine, so I probably would. I need to go see a therapist.
You so shallow, child. Lord have mercy. Well, my Sexpectations. I'm about to get some auto-tune for my audacity. That's what I'm gonna need.
We gotta get you hooked up like they did Kid Fury with his Kid Fury shorts.
You know, that shit is
we gotta
awesome.
get you.
That's a good time.
Yeah, we gotta get you a dope Sexpectations situation.
Shout out to the Read podcast. If you don't listen, you really should.
Indeed.
My Sexpectations question for you is, would you ever fart in front of your person, aka your partner?
My goal is no. My goal is no. But yeah, because why? Let me tell you why. Because if he did that, like, or if anybody did that, like, I don't want to smell that, bro.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not into gas, bro. I'm not into it.
Yeah, it's not a good time. Like, I just would go out the room. Like, I would hope to feel comfortable enough that, like, if I just abruptly got to run out the room, oh, what's wrong with you? It's just a
no,
dance.
ignore it. No, ignore it.
Oh, you can't say shit?
No,
Okay,
no, don't say.
But
nothing.
you don't pass gas, right?
No, I don't. I've never done that. I've never done her sister, which is pooping. I've never done none of that, and I never shall in my life.
Right, absolutely.
My body doesn't do that.
You know what's crazy?
When
Now
I
that you
eat
say
food,
that, I don't think
it just deteriorates. And
I don't think I've ever seen you in the bathroom.
Yeah, I don't poop or.
I don't never caught you. When we go to El Paso, I'm going.
Oh my God! You would make it your mission to catch me.
I'm gonna make sure I catch you in the bathroom. Like, Iyesha's in the Iyesha taking a shit.
No, people would be like, "What? Y'all been together so long? Why you ain't never?" Cause why would I do that? Why would I do that? And why would he do that? As far as I'm concerned, he don't do that, and I don't do that. None of us, neither one. But I appreciate that he is also not with the shits. Literally and figuratively. But yeah, no, he ain't over here like, let me sit on your lap and fart. Like, y'all, I'm sorry, y'all do what y'all want, but that's nasty. And if you and your partner in there farting up the cars and sitting on each other's lap, or, you know, I've heard people be like, you know, fart under the covers and then hold their head under. Bitch, I would fucking kill you. I would fucking kill you.
That's gross.
I would kill you. You would be dead. And I would have to explain to your mother why I killed you. The end.
Mm-hmm. As you should. Yeah, it's a no for me. Like I said, at most, I would want to say, oh, just gas, like on Whoopi Goldberg on Ghost. Mm-hmm. But besides that, or that's what I would probably do. It's a ghost. Mm-hmm. But yeah, nah, I ain't with that. Like, I know people like to get real playful with their partners and shit. Like, i.e., even on White Chicks, when he was trying to gross him out and started farting in that damn restaurant, and then he started doing it back and it was worse. Yes or no? We're not gonna have a fart war. That's disgusting.
Squeeze me.
Yeah, disgusting. No, I'm good on that. So no, man.
You know what? My mama used to tell me that even when she was married, she never did. And that if she had to go to the bathroom, she would drive to my grandma's house, who lived like, I don't know, 10 minutes down the street. But she would drive to my grandma's house to do the things. And I was like, oh, I ain't doing all that. Amen, sister girl, because I ain't never going to do nothing like that.
Yeah, I ain't never, no. We definitely going to be using the same bathroom unless we got a 2 baths or a bath and a half or some shit. I ain't finna be going to another house or some shit. No,
sister girl would drive down the road. I'm sure her stomach was hurting.
What? No, ma'am. Because holding it ain't good for you. And
I mean, she probably couldn't even laugh. Not in the slightest. My mom would kill me if she ever heard this episode. So y'all please don't ever send it to my mother.
I'm dead. I am dead. Okay. All right, y'all. In that case, we moving on to black on black support. All right. I'm excited. My black on black support goes to none other than my motherfucking best friend, roomie.
Oh my goodness.
Fiance, classmate, co-worker, the dopest podcast co-host in the world, heavyweight champion of the world.
There you go. You and your mama call me big again.
Oh God!
You couldn't say featherweight. You couldn't say featherweight, friend. You had to call me heavyweight.
I honestly didn't think about it. And here we go. And I know Kalia listens to the podcast, so now here goes something else I ain't never going to live down again.
Wow.
Golly.
That girl will call me big. Jesus.
What does it even mean, featherweight?
Lighter.
I ain't never even heard them words. I don't know none of these words. Anyway, my bestest friend in the world, in the whole wide world, had her very first movie premiere. And I heard great things. Y'all know how I am about the corona, honey. I do not come out the house. I don't do that. And so I did not see it with the rest of the girls, but I am very excited to spend my coins and watch it on my personal television. I am planning on getting a blow up theater, but I ain't about to wait that long.
Oh my goodness.
Never mind. Anywho, so yes, I just wanted to shout out my best friend. Also, shout out to Tori for writing that shit, being in that shit. I just heard great things that people are just talking about your acting and how great it is, and I keep being like, I already knew this. I am true to this, not new to this. And I mean, it is so funny though, because sometimes you do have friends that, like, you know, they're going for a talent and they suck, but you gotta like lie.
Well, you know, people have different opinions, so you still might think that. And I told you, if you do, don't tell me. Just lie. Lie to me.
But see, I don't think that. I already know you're a good actor. I've seen you in the things. Even though you be trying to downplay, oh, that was just improv. I'm like, yeah, people improv be bad. Like my friend was talking about how Karrueche couldn't even die well. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah, say that to say talent. Super proud of you, super happy for you. I would love to hear all the things that you want to share with our listeners who maybe didn't make it to the premiere. They tell them where they can stream the things. I got an email, so I ain't got no answers for y'all, but Iyesha knows the things.
Thank you, Queen. I very much so appreciate that. I had so much love. I can't wait to post pictures. I'm trying to wait on the photographer to get us, the good pictures. Wow. Shout out to Tori. He did what needed to be done. Wow. Shout out to Andrew, our videographer. Shout out to Michael, our director. Shout out to Vidra. Everybody just really, they did what the fuck needed to be done. Planning this event was the fuck stressful, and I had a lot going on in my personal life that was really keeping me from being able to enjoy to the fullest this premiere, or so I thought it would. And then the day of my premiere, I just had so much love. I mean, people came, bought tickets, showed up, showed out, looked beautiful, looked amazing. People that I did not expect to see, people I was surprised to see. I had a lot of family there, which kind of shook me a little bit because, again, I don't always, see it all from all my family. So I was surprised they came through and supported me in the ways that I've always tried to do them as well. But yeah, I had so many, oh my gosh, people was bringing me bouquets, people were bringing me cards, which, I'm a big sucker for a card and for some flowers. It was a lot. I just felt so much love, and it was such a beautiful event. Like, I'm like, dang, I can't think of a Charlotte event, like an independent event, right, where nobody has helped you put this together, right? Like, you've done this on your own, something that has been that amazing. So I'm really just kind of like in awe of Tori to have wrote, to have produced, to have acted, right, to have facilitated and directed the scenes, or a lot of them, to put together the whole project, to put together the premiere, right? And shout out to Rod at the Whhhhat for getting our posters for the premiere. Also, that was really dope. Shout out to Beauty Queen, who performed her single, which is the our theme song, if you will, for the film. Shout out to X, who came and literally put together the performances, because we kind of had in mind what we wanted, but neither Tori nor I really know a lot about the sound thing, so they really kind of took that over. X especially, set the things up, so I'm super, super grateful to him, because he knows how panicked I was, that things were going to go terribly, terribly awry. Murphy's Law. So he came in and set the things up. He went early for a sound check and made sure things were going smoothly, and then he came and performed and did a great job. I'm just so blessed to know so many talented people and to have been able to do my very first movie premiere. And I was talking to Tori about it a little bit later, and he was basically like, oh, it's not your, your first real one, but it's your real one, blah, blah, blah. I want you to, don't forget us little people kind of thing. And I was like, there is no, this is my first independent one. This is my first Charlotte one. This is my first small one. No, this is my first movie premiere, and I'm super, super proud of it. And, me and my dad always talked about him being there as my date forever to every single movie premiere ever. And so it was really like an emotional day for me. And to be surrounded by so much love just lets me know, I am an extension of my dad, and I receive so much love because I have so much of my dad's love in me, transferred to me to give out to other people. And so I'm grateful to all the support that I got, because it really made me feel my dad in that moment. But the movie premiere was awesome. I'm gonna post links, because I got the email too, and I wasn't really sure if Tori wanted me to share the things, if he wanted it to be private, because we are trying to, on the low ski, go public with the things. If you care to read between those lines, but I'll find out if I can post a link, so people, if they weren't able to make it to the premiere, they can buy it at home, or even if you did and you want to watch it again with your family, your friends, have a movie night, we really appreciate all the support. When you do an independent project, all the support, all the word of mouth, all the sharing with your friends is it means more than anything to us, right? Basically how people were sharing and jumping on the Bird Box train, right, when that movie came out, or the P-Valley show, right, or Pose, or Lovecraft, whatever. The way you talk about people who have the budgets and have the big things, is what your friends, your artistic friends, really need you to do for us, because we don't have those big productions. We don't have those big marketing machines behind us. We're really doing this based on word of mouth and how we share with our social medias and our friends and our family. So any way that you can support, whether that's, reposting anything or downloading, streaming, sharing those streams. If you're not a movie person, just shouting it out is good for us, or just talking to your friends like, hey, I have some friends that made this movie. You want to watch it. Here's a link, or buy it, whatever you got to do. Just support us in whatever way you can. And we really, really, really appreciate it. And I got to see Sid twice that day, actually. She came to my hotel and helped me get dressed without spilling oil all over my dress, which was great because I definitely sent that bitch back. And also had left, and then also came to the theater, and I really, really appreciate that. Like if it seems small to anybody, it means a lot to me. So I really, really appreciate that. I appreciate that love and support, friend.
Yeah, no problem. I would have not gave it a second thought if I didn't look crazy. But that's how you know it's real love, because I was out there in a damn t-shirt and some Adidas pants, and everybody else was in a fucking best dress. And I'm like, all right, that's all right though, because next time I'm gonna speak this into existence. At the second premiere, I will be vaxxed and waxed, or the coronavirus will no longer be on my ass like it has been this whole time, and I will be just stepping on next Malik style.
Oh,
the next one. That's all
now
I'm gonna say.
those are big shoes, man. Easy
I know,
easy
but
killer.
yeah, right. Anywho, yeah, super proud of you, super happy for you. Glad that everything was as it should have been on your big day. And like I said, I like how people be saying fuck cancer, but fuck corona, because it really has made me miss very important things. You know what I'm saying? But I will not miss
maybe the event, I guess, in itself, but you didn't miss anything. You came to my hotel, you came to the actual theater, and I appreciate that. Like, you supported me in the ways that you could, and, as friends, that's all we can do is want and require our friends to do the best that they can. And
absolutely,
I appreciate you fully.
Appreciate the grace, as I have said many a time in this pandemic. But yeah, super happy for you. But Queen, what do you have for us for Black on Black support?
That was it. Just shout out to X, shout out to BD Queen, or excuse me, X
shout out
Brody.
to yourself. I know that's right.
Shout out to X Brody for doing all that he did. I could not thank him enough. Shout out to BD Queen for her great performance, and for turning up with us after. Shout out to Tori for all his hard work. Andrew, Michael, Vidra, everyone who worked on the project. There was a whole lot of people. So sorry, I don't know everybody's names or can remember them all, but it's a great project. Hope that y'all love it and support it. And shout out to everybody that came and did karaoke with me. I know it was a hot ass mess. I was drinking and dancing in the streets for about an hour. And
I heard.
Fucked up my brand new shoes that I love so dearly. So fuck me hard. That sucks ass. But yeah, that's all I have for Black on Black support. I wanted to tell y'all real quick, my book of the month is Sister Souljah. I love my girl. And this is
that girl loves some Sister Souljah. Here for that. Actually,
this one is
go press on.
Midnight and the Meaning of Love, which is the second Midnight. It's the Midnight sequel. So listen, y'all, if y'all ain't hit the Sister Souljah, I don't know what the fuck to tell y'all. You need to read all the books, damn it, and read them in order. And read them in order.
And called you. Kalia finna pop out of nowhere and call you a baby girl.
Okay. Oh, something else that I wish people wouldn't joke about. Don't call me baby girl. I hate that. Have you ever had a dude call you that?
Oh, baby girl?
Yes.
No, that don't bother me, but I'm talking about, the other kind of baby girl. Not like the bad baby girl, not the good baby girl.
Okay.
You know what the bad baby girl is? Like, when they be saying you look like a baby girl.
She gonna call me the bad baby girl?
Yeah, because
I love
basically,
Sister Souljah?
It's kind of like when people were saying that, like they were saying basically if you like Monica's music, you a baby girl.
What would they
because
say?
She make what did she say? She makes baby girl music. Like
I'm crying.
It's like did you see that meme that was like all Brandy was a black Disney princess, and all Monica has done to tell us that no matter how long we love the same man, he's still gonna be in jail.
Damn. You hate to see
So say that to say, right. So say that to say, it's basically, I feel like that's what Kalia gives me when she talks about Sister Souljah, because she was like, I didn't even finish Coldest Winter Ever. I hated her. This book is, it wasn't giving. However, I'm reading Parable of the Sower, it ain't bad or nothing, but she just was hyping that shit. So we even, Steven, Kalia, I know you listening to this, because you recommended that fucking Parable of the Sower shit, and I recommended Coldest Winter Ever, and neither one of us is living our best lives, so.
I'm crying. Well, I guess we're all 1 for 1 at this point.
What's your one?
The Barracoon book that y'all hated.
Oh my God. Fucking trash. Oh, and you know what else? Actually, we're not 1 for 1. We're like 2 for 1 because you also wasn't giving what I needed you to give.
What?
For me.
What?
For Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Oh, well, that's y'all's losses because I like Barracoon, and I didn't say that I didn't like Between the World. I just didn't understand why y'all hyped it so much.
That's how I feel about Barracoon.
I was just like, this cute or whatever.
To which I just want to say, look at us up here talking about books like this.
What if high school?
Refined.
If high school Iyesha could see me, she'd be like, "What are you talking about? What books are y'all talking about? You read books for fun? What a loser!"
Same, but like I haven't thought about it in a long time, but I remember like having like asked people for books for gifts when I graduated and stuff, and just different times, birthdays. I asked my mama for a book for my birthday one year, and I'm like, "Yo, if high school Sydney." If we were ever to talk, she would be like if somebody had gave high school Sydney a book for her birthday, she would have been hella insulted. I'd be like, what the fuck is this? What am I supposed to do with this? Read it? So yeah, shout out to us for being out here in these streets and being cultured swine. But I'm sorry, back to what you were saying about your baby girl book. I'm just kidding.
I'm crying. That was all. Y'all read Sister Souljah. Matter of fact, buy up all them books and find a black store to do it from. Amen. Let's move on to mental health. Protect your brain, bitches.
Okay. Absolutely. You want to go first or you want me to go first?
I'll go. So my mental health tip was... There was a Twitter thread where somebody tweeted, "Can y'all post y'all therapist advice on Twitter so I don't have to go?" And I thought that was iconic because I was like, yeah, therapy expensive AF. Everybody can't afford to go. It is a luxury, unfortunately. And I wanted to read one that really stuck out to me. And it was excusing behavior that crosses your boundary just because you feel guilty or bad about confrontation will only harm you in the long run. Establish firm expectations right from the start.
That's right.
I thought that was a good piece of advice because it is really hard to draw your boundaries, right? Especially if you are known for being a pleaser, right? You want to make sure everything goes smoothly and everyone else is having a good time, and you be like, fuck me, fuck myself and how I feel. I'm gonna make sure everybody else is good, and you let people walk all over you. And if you establish expectations from the beginning, people don't have to be sitting there with the dumb face like, what, you tripping about this or you don't like this? Yeah, and I told you that and you knew that. So I'm not saying like obviously go at it like so aggressively, but be firm in what you say. Be firm and mean what you say. And if there's something you don't want people to do or treat you a certain way, like we said in the very beginning of the episode, it's kind of spun the block on the first thing we talked about, which was our icebreaker for the day, which was what are things you don't like when people are joking about. And that was something that I finally had to be like, hey Sid, I don't like when X, Y, and Z. And same thing for her, because we've had this conversation, is like, I don't like X, Y, and Z about you, or when you say or do this to me, it hurts me or offends me a certain type of way. When you make those expectations, you let your friends, your family, or whoever know, this is what I don't like. And if you choose to keep going against what I say for me, then I can't be around you. I can't be your friend. I have to draw a line and be, away from you, because I refuse to allow somebody to walk all over me after what I've clearly made is my expectation. And I clearly have told you, I don't like this or I don't like that. Like when you're very clear about what you mean, say what you mean, mean what you say, and stand on it.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Agreed. Shout out to whoever started that Twitter thread, because needed. That is great advice.
Absolutely. I'm gonna probably repost it so people can go to the thread themselves.
I am definitely a non-confrontational person, so I also my muffin cap has been peeled back blue because needed to hear that. Yeah. Okay, my mental health check-in is take a break, walk away. You know what I'm saying? It is okay to take a break, people. I have talked to friends who are creatives and things of that nature. And they have, you know, talked about how they'll have moments where they want to take a break from Instagram or just anything. But particularly with social media, and they'd be like, damn, like, but I'm afraid I'm going to miss something. Like, maybe that'll be the time when Taraji P. Henson reaches out to me and asks me such and such. And if I don't get back to her enough time, they'll find somebody else or whatever that thing might be. And I feel like that's how, but you know, that's how they make money off social media, is by keeping your eyes on there. So I feel like they want you to feel that way. But not even just with that, right? But like me and my coworker, like, she is getting into art, and she was talking about how, shout out to Taylor, she listens to our podcast. She was talking about how, like, I'll be like, what you about to do after you get off work? Oh, I'm gonna go work on my art, I'm gonna go da 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 da. And I do the same thing, like, and she asked me, oh, what you doing after work? Oh, I'm gonna go work on this music video, I'm gonna go, you know, design some t-shirts, I'm gonna go, like, you know, just whatever random thing I'm doing at the time. And so I'd be like, you know what, I'm gonna take a break. Like, I'm gonna give yourself, whether it be a day off, right? Because I think we get days off from work, but then we use those days off to do more of our own creative entrepreneurial work or whatever that might be. And it's like, nah, take a day off, bro. Like, the day, and I had 3 days off a couple of weeks ago in a row, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And when I tell you, I watched all 3 Hangovers, the first 3 Scary Movies, and White Chicks. When I tell you I live my best life, because y'all know I love a good film, honey, okay? And I just gave myself a break. I didn't do shit. And it just felt so good not to do anything. Like, I didn't do anything. I worked on a music video yesterday, but just for like an hour, but I didn't do anything else. Like, I literally was like, the only thing I'm going to make myself do is eat enough, drink enough water, and read. That's it. And exercise. Mm-hmm. But like, I literally randomly started watching this video and just started dancing at like 11 o'clock last night. And I was like, yo, you know what? This feels good. It feels good to not just have the pressure on me of all the things. And I'm just going to enjoy this. So yeah, I just wanted to say, take a break for your mental health, because I know we all out here grinding. We all got our dreams, be it, you know, you're in college and working a job, you're working a full-time job, you come home and work on your side hustle, you work a full-time job, you come home and work on your creative entrepreneurial hustle, whatever that might be. It's okay to take a break for your well-being, for your happiness. Do something that brings you joy outside of those things, or just do it for fun and, you know, not for money maybe or something. But give yourself a break from the routine, or a break in general. That is my mental health check, and I feel like it does wonders. Mm-hmm. Well, which is, I guess, also my affirmation. Okay. My affirmation is that I am healthy. You know how when you did have an affirmation, you can share yours too, but you know how when you you know, get sick, right? You get a cold. Sorry, I'm adjusting my mic. Mm-hmm. You get sick, you get a cold, and you're like, damn, I took for granted when I could breathe good. Like, I know that's right. You know, what? And I just wanted to take time to be like, that sounded a little snuffled, but I'm not. I am just so grateful for this body that continues to wake up every day. Sometimes it wakes up sore. Sometimes it wakes up tired. Sometimes, you know, it wakes up lazy. But it wakes up. It gets me up every day. Right. My heart chooses to keep on pumping even when I'm sleeping, child. I wake up and, you know, I thank the good Lord I don't have allergies and stuff. So I wake up able to breathe every day. We can all name probably, you know, we getting close to 30's door, child. So we could probably wake up and I'll be like, I can name 10 things wrong with me right now as soon as I open my eyes. But how many times do we wake up 10 things going right with us? Because it's a lot more than 10. I know that's right. So I am grateful to be healthy, especially because a bad bitch like myself ain't fucking with no health care right now. So, you know, I'm very grateful. And I thought about not too long ago how I made it the whole pandemic, thank the good Lord, without having to experience COVID or any flu or cold symptoms whatsoever. And I think about how blessed that makes me, how incredibly blessed I am to have not been sick, to have not been injured, you know, in a car accident, things like that. And I'm just very, very grateful. And I want to say now to the universe, to my body, to myself, to God, thank you. And I'm so grateful to be healthy on this year today. I know that's right. And my affirmation is, I am. Okay, I'm done. Sorry. Okay. Basically, I was listening to this song by Young NLE Chopper. Mm-hmm. And he said, I do my affirmations. I think he said 3, 5, 9. Mm-hmm. 3 in the morning, 5 at midday, and 9 before I go to bed. Mm-hmm. And it reminded me of how I think Muslims pray, is it 5 times a day?
I believe it's 5, but don't give me the line.
Yes, y'all, please forgive me if I'm incorrect. I think it's 5. And I was thinking to myself, like, how that seems like one of those things where if you just did it, how could you then not just be super kind? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like every time you about to slip into some rude shit, you got to pray again. Every time you finna think, oh, I can't do such and such, I got to say, I am such and such 5 times right now. I got to say, I am such and such 9 times right now. And so basically my affirmation is, I am, but you fill in the blank. Say it 3 times in the morning. Say it 5 times in the afternoon, and say it 9 times before you go to sleep. I was doing that for a while, for a little bit, and then I, like all good habits, I broke it, and now I got to restart it again. But yeah, that is my affirmation. You fill in the blank for yourself, and let it be something positive, something good, something lit.
Yeah, we gotta let go of that. I'm weak. I'm dead. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm broke. I'm this. Like them I am statements. Whoo, child. They are. They ain't no hoe, okay? They very fucking serious.
Okay.
Be careful with how you say I am and how you use that language.
I know that's right.
Well,
so in that case,
do you have anything else for the party people? Any announcements? Anything else you want to get off your chest?
Just want to say I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for hanging in there with us through our many a week when we go a missing. Listen, when we be fleeing the front office trying not to pay our rent.
And that's because my good queen Sid was out here filming and directing and cinematographing these videos, and I was just out here at a movie premiere. So y'all can't be all mad at us for not being in our apartment.
We are going to try very hard to get these consistent podcasts to y'all. And we're going to keep on growing. We welcome our new listeners. We thank our old listeners. I feel like I'm leading a meditation right now because my eyes are closed. But thank y'all for tuning in and listening. We will be back. I have been Sid the Great.
And party people, again, thank you so much for coming back this week. If you guys have, the time on your hearts and spirits, go ahead and give yourself the affirmation, I am a reviewer. I am a rater. Go ahead and rate and review our podcast. Share it with your friends. Listen to it out loud in inappropriate places. We love that for us. If you guys have any underground artists you want to send our way, or people who you think should just have some more love and have some more attention to what they got going on, maybe you listen to some artists that we ain't hip to, let us know. Send them our way. See if we can get them featured on the podcast. See if we can listen to that as our theme music, if you will. I have been Iyesha Damali. That was my best friend, Sid the Great. Here is Miss Beatty Queen with Fighter. Y'all go ahead and rock out. Go stream things. We love y'all. Get the fuck out of our living room. Peace.
I go ain't shit. Let me cook this beat. I ain't eat shit. I murder beats. Get the paramedics. I flow crazy like a diuretic. Competition's getting a little problematic. Once they hear my name, I'll do mathematics. My bar's heavy like my eyes lately. Been up chasing the bag. Now these bags with me. My eyes heavy, but I'm still awake. I won't take a break till they scream my name. Cause I pour my blood and tears. Walk through mud and fears. You can't break me down. I'm a fighter. I have a dream, I maneuver. I spill my hopes with a black and white Martin Luther. Yeah, I have a dream and a purpose. My pen stormed on my pain and God made it cursive. My heart smiles when I'm nervous. I flip my L's into W's. Surgeries and a lot of bruise. I built my future with a lot of screws. Kill the self-doubt, they'll smother you. Believe in my nightmares more than my dreams. I thought my life was a setup, but it's gotten easier to roll with the punches. Shit, I be down with my head up. Underestimated like a quiet storm. Still applying pressure like a giant horn. Working hard in patience with no celebration. This is dedication in its highest form. Learn that meditation's better medication. Purple rounds with patience as a bind storm. It's a lonely mission with no recognition. Gotta keep it pushing through the firestorm. I kept it in till I burst. I breathe in when it hurts. The heartbreaks and the lost gains made a therapist and a nurse. My fears died on my birth. My tears dried on my worst. My fears died on a hearse. My blood dried on my verse. Pour my blood and tears. Walk through mud and fears. You can't break me down. I'm a fighter. I'ma keep on grinding. I'ma keep on rising. I'ma keep on fighting no matter what. I'ma keep on grinding. I'ma keep on rising. I'ma keep on fighting no matter what. I was built was trying to keep them flooded. On my mom, on my dad, on my life, on my bed, on my dreams, on my goals, on my pen, on my voice.
Listen, that spoke to my soul. That's what I'm talking about. Beautiful. It was thick. It was full. You had so many elements. The background singing. The world needs to hear that.